All right, what's up, people? This is going to be volume 2 in my series on Tibetan masters, and I figured I'd go 180 degrees with this one because instead of giving you what might be called the next in line, etc., I know there's one I'm really looking forward to, and I think we all know who that guy is. But this one, I'm going to do somebody that's still alive, somebody that I would consider to be one of the greatest popularizers of Nyingma teaching. Currently, whatever the fuck, modern, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay, so this guy named Tarthang Tulku. And he's a Rinpoche. He's deserved respect. He's a teacher. Now, what you have to understand within Nyingma is that once you get to the highest of high black belt teachings, and once you've been initiated into all, like I said, my path is Semsday, but when you're a Rinpoche, you, even like the Dalai Lama, as much as I have beef with the Dalai Lama because he's not Nyingma, okay, these Rinpoches, they all understand each other and they have all taught and learned in all of the belts. So when I say that his method of teaching relies heavily on lower belt levels, specifically brown belt level, something called Maha Yoga, which is right below Adi Yoga, which is Adi Yoga is Dzogchen, and then Maha Yoga would be the brown belt right before that. Now, remember when I mentioned the 3 classes of the highest level? It was Semsday, mind class, Longete, space class, and then Men Gagne. I can't do it. It's a curse. It's a curse, I swear, because I'm Semsday. It's like, I can't do it. Which is called the path of instantaneous transmission, which is considered to be the highest of the methods of what's known as awakening naked awareness, which is the goal. Remember when I said in the last video that there's a single goal across all yanas? That goal is naked awareness. Which, I mean, that's the best translation I can fucking get. You'll either get it immediately, instantaneous transmission, or you won't. In which case you have to yoke yourself to a yana or a yoga, which is a practice. So Tulku tends to give his book, Time, Space, Knowledge, get that book. It is a very practical book. Most of the books you buy about Dzogchen are very philosophical. They're mostly tantras with, maybe some commentary if you're lucky. See, the thing is, it's like people that comment on the Quran. It's kind of a no-no unless you're like a really high belt level in either religion. It's like, it's the Quran. You can't really comment on it. It's its own commentary in a way. And the same thing with the tantras. Even trying to comment, that's why if I could have, the Semsnyid Tantra is the greatest Tantra of all time. I included it in postmodern Satanism. Uncut, unedited, uncommented on. Because if I was going to comment on that, I would immediately make myself look like a fool to my tradition, which I cannot do. So, but what Tulku does is he focuses primarily on practice. And when I broke those 3 categories down, you'll notice that the middle one, in the case of the black belt levels, it's called Longete, space class. Now, I think because Tulku teaches Maha Yoga, which is the second of 3 in that trinity, again, 9 yanas is 3 trinities. So he's operating at that level of 7, 8, and 9. So he's 8. 8 is Maha Yoga, brown belt level. It's also parallel to Longere, which is a division of the ninth yana. Remember I said there's possibly 12? That's where that comes from. So Semsde, Longere, and the one I am unable to pronounce due to a karmic curse is parallel to the one below it. So Mahayoga corresponds to Longere, which is space class, which means that you're going to be doing a lot of body work. You're going to be doing a lot of body work. And it's very, like I say, by his book, Time, Space, and Knowledge. It is a brown belt level teaching, but I think he does that on purpose. Like I said, to get to his level, to become Rinpoche like he is, he had to master every fucking belt level perfectly. This is a walking, living, breathing saint from the perspective I come from. So the way he does this is that he engages you in a deconstruction of space-time within your very own physical body. I can't explain it any better than that. If that makes you feel like, hey man, I gotta buy this book, it is a workable book. It is a book where you get exercises. You get told, do this many times a day. It's a very hands-on approach. And he has a great writing style. It's not perfect. It's not the sharpest knife. But it's a damn sharp knife. And it's going to cut the right flesh. Some flesh is tough. It requires a more jagged knife to get through. And again, like I said, this is brown belt level. So it's not like jagged knives are for white belts. But you get my point. So yeah. Oh, and to the question about whether or not I've opened my chakras. I gave you a link to my book. If you really want the long and the short of it, I don't think that concept of body is fundamentally real. So you can take that however you want to take it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think it's more metaphorical and artistic and focused on things that perhaps are more based in abstract symmetries rather than factual realities, if that makes any fucking sense. So you could say that's both a yes and a no. I've also activated my Superman consciousness and my spidey sense is tingling, so I gotta get off of here. But anywho, Tarthang Tulku, Rinpoche, look him up. He's still alive. He does a lot of good work. He's Nyingma school, my school. He's a master. He's a Rinpoche. But he does tend to teach at a brown belt level, which I think a lot of people would find refreshing. It's not the heavy, heady, philosophical meanderings of old men. It's more of an exploration of your own body.